So today I just wanted to kind of go through a few things, um, talk about some of the upcoming things that I got going. My guy Tony, been doing the 64 Riviera for him. A lot of work been put into that car. It's at the transmission shop now. Had some electrical problems with the lights, hoping to get that figured out. The window switch, just a few problems, but got to get Binky to come up, well, Tony to come up with a name. I can't help myself, Tony, Bink. Calling you that all my life, but got to come up with a name for the car. I'll call it Showstopper 2, because my 75 Century that I'm doing is going to be, well, it's my Showstopper, so. But his is going to be a Showstopper 2. I have really went through this car, painted the engine, took it off frame, restoration. Really went through this car. And it's a 64 Riviera. I do interior work too, so all the interior work is done. I got a few more pieces I might have to wrap, but I'm just waiting to get it back from the transmission shop, and he had the engine rebuilt. I don't do tune-ups and stuff like that, so the guy that's putting the tranny in, hopefully he'll tune it up. If not, we'll have to ship it somewhere else, get it tuned up. But hopefully that one will be back. It's been going on 2 months now. So that's why I started on my 79, just trying to get that ready. It's time for me to ship that one off for some tune-up work and different stuff. But get the 64 Riviera back, and it's time to do one more sand on it, prime it, let it sit for about a month. Then she'll be ready to paint, finish up, get all the interior in it. And now that I'm doing these shows, I've took pictures of the car along the way. So when I introduce his car as a 64 Riviera on my channel here, I'm gonna show pictures. I wish we would have took pictures before we started. I thought maybe he had pictures, but maybe I'm the only car nut that like taking pictures of my cars, as well as family. I love taking pictures because you can always look back. It's just good memories. So when I get, his car back, I'm gonna introduce his car with pictures, and we're gonna go from there. And I'm gonna show myself finishing up that 64 Riviera. But it's gonna be a really nice car. I got a 77 that I'm doing. It's got to be buffed. It's over by my friend Bud's house. It's sitting over at his house. As soon as it get warm enough here in Wisconsin, I'm going to show a few videos on how to do the wet sanding. I got to finish some wet sanding and buffing that car out. I got a few panels I got to put inside the interior, getting the interior finished up. But that car, it runs, it drives, it runs good. So I will be selling that car this summer. And I brought another 79, and it says Park Avenue, but I don't know if it's a true Park Avenue. It's got the big plush seats in it, and I'm not really going to do too much to that car. It's a 4-door, 79 Electra or Park Avenue. Needed a water pump, some issues with the heating. and it need brakes. So I'm going to get that one running this summer. I want to get that one up for sale. And then I got the 79 that you see if you watched any of the videos that I'm working on now. And that one, it'll be probably next year before I'm actually finished up with that one. So I got the Riviera to do, the 77 to do, the 66 Wildcat. And then after I'm done with those three, then I'm going to kind of calm it down and relax. I want to start going to, a few shows and different things, and hopefully get my engine rebuilt this year for my 75 Century pace car. It's not a true pace car, but it's got T-tops. I'm going to put all the stickers on it. And I went down to Atlanta and got that car. Me, my wife, my son, and my nephew Trezon. We went down, picked that up, brought that back. That's been about 5 years ago. And that car, I got the interior all done. The frame, everything up under the bottom of this car is painted white. The frame is painted white. The floors up under the bottom is painted white. Port 15, top coated with, the rock resistant Port 15. And it's a lot of parts up under the car that are blue and red, because the side of the car is going to be red, white, and blue. That's the way 75, you look up 75 pace car, you'll see what I'm talking about. That one, I just need the engine done. All the interior work is done. The seats are done. When I start putting the engine in that car and introducing that car, which will probably be about a year from now, because I'll be done with all, with Tony's car and Bob's car. Get that engine rebuilt, then that engine will be ready. That car, I'll be ready to finish that up. Now, that's my favorite car, that 75 Century. I've seen it, fell in love with it. I said, I got to find one. And I told my wife it's going to be hard finding one with T-tops. She told me, oh, go ahead if you can find one. Well, hey, I got on Craigslist, and within 2 weeks, I was searching hard. Thank God I found one down in Georgia. My cousin Effie called her, talked to her son, Kasako. He wasn't really moving on it. So I called Effie, and I said, Effie, I really want this car. I said, can you talk to Kasako and tell him to go by and look at this car for me? I don't want to, he sent me pictures. I don't really want to drive way down to Georgia and this car ain't what the guy said it is. I told him what to look for. Well, Effie got Kasako, and they went over and got the car. And we went down, and my cousin Kevin, he met up with me over by his mom's house. Kasako was busy. We ended up seeing Kasako later. We had a big cookout and everything. Me and Kevin and the wife and my son, we went and I ended up buying the car. Rented out a truck down in Atlanta and trailer, U-Haul, and pulled it back up here to Wisconsin. So, can't wait to get that car done. And then, for me helping Bob with his car, I'm getting a 70 Wildcat from him. That's from if I'm right, it's from Arizona. I'm not wondering, I don't really, because I'm just trying to get all this stuff done, but it's from Arizona. It's a nice car. I want to say it's from Arizona, but it's a nice car. It's a two-door hardtop, and he giving me a 70 Wildcat convertible, black, from Minnesota, and between me and him, we went in on a car from South Dakota. He got all the interior. I get the body, so I'm going to take the body parts and fix up the convertible with that. Whatever's easier. I'm going to, swap the parts over. So that's going to be the biggest project. And honestly, that's why I wanted to launch this channel. Because that 70 Wildcat, never really see videos on how to turn a hardtop into a convertible, and that's what I want to do. So it's going to be a pretty big project. A lot of, the tub. It's just going to be a lot of work with doing that. So that's kind of got you caught up to where I'm at with all these projects. But I've been doing cars for over 20 years. My friend Jerry, best man at my wedding, I learned from him, watching them, just catching on, and so, but somewhat self-taught too, because like the fabrication, all of that I do, I mean, most of the stuff that I'm doing is self-taught, because he was always so busy. He really didn't have time to talk and everything like that. So I used to just get what answers out of him that I could, and just watched and just taught myself. And then I got so many cars that I said, well, I need to learn how to do car interior. So back then, YouTube wasn't a big deal thing. It wasn't a lot of videos, and I still don't really think it's a lot of videos that, take you in and show you how to do interior work, sewing, and, seat covers. And I tell a lot of guys, they be like, well, doing seat covers, I said, hey, most of the stuff I do is for myself and friends. That, and most of the stuff I do is like hobby. It's not, I'm a truck driver. I drive truck for a living. So I only have like 2-3 hours a day to come home and get, these cars finished, and I tell them, I said, hey, if you want to get your car, unless you're getting a customized interior, it's easier to go to, any of these part suppliers, Original Part Group or whoever, Year One, and buy your bucket seat covers, your door panels if you can get them, because to pay somebody to do seat covers, it's easier just to get them. If somebody, only way you want somebody doing your seat covers is if they something like, I got to do the seat covers for Bob. I'm doing his interior in his car too, as part of the deal for these cars. You can't get seat covers for 66 Wildcats. So that's the only time you want to pay somebody to do your seat covers, because it's going to cost so much. Well, Bob not paying me to do his car. I mean, it's what they used to call it, bartering. You know, we just making a trade. That's all that's going on, you know. And he go to a lot of shows and everything, and I just want to do him a nice car. So I just wanted to talk to you a little bit so you can kind of get to know who I am, you know. And I'm a car nut. That's what it is. People have different habits. I mean, back in the days, I used to have some worse habits, you know, than what I have now. Now I'm just a car nut. You know what I mean? I mean, I never did drugs, smoked weed way back in the day, but I never did hard drugs, never was a big alcoholic, you know. But, you know, cars is something that's been, I've been crazy about cars since I was 6 years old, taking a deck of cards, you know, pushing them around on the floor, take a few cards out the thing and push them around on the floor. And of course, the number 2 was always the deuces, you know. So my father had big 4-door 73 Electra that he brought brand new. So I like the big 4 doors, you know, back in the day. And, you know, I've had like 2-door Regals. I had a lot of Buicks over my time, you know. Let me see if we can go up. I did this car behind you there. I don't know if I can get this thing to go up or not, but let me see. I did this car. Yeah, I think you can see it. I did that car. It was rotted out real bad too. It was, and that car was took off the frame and did that car. A lot of fabrication. That's why I learned to fabricate, was from that car there. So that's where I learned to fabricate back in the days, was from that car there. So like I said, I just wanted to catch you up and just let you know what I'm doing, what I'm trying to do, and what I'm trying to achieve with this channel. I'm not, okay, if I get 1,000 likes like my grandson said, hey, so be it. But really, I just want to teach guys that, hey, you can teach yourself. You can learn how to do this stuff. A few tools and a creative mind, and you can get it done. So I'm going to be trying to walk you through a lot of this stuff. Just subscribe, like, and stay tuned, because there's a lot more to come. Have a good day, everybody.